So we've just finished eating, but we wanted to continue filming, so we decided to sit by the fireplace and by the Christmas tree, be cozy, just drink I'm drinking my coffee, they're drinking their wine, and talk about some paranormal stories. So, I personally have not had any scary or paranormal experience. So any of you have? I know my mom.
I've been to public school, so not already enough is a paranormal story. Don't you have like a lot of paranormal stories? Because haven't you kind of been like everywhere?
Not everywhere. Let's clarify.
Okay, so tell us your experience.
Well, tell us about your mom experience.
No, she said you first. She said you first, so you can go first.
I don't
Tell
know.
your story and then I can tell my mom's, because I know a lot about my mom's.
Well, it's not one story. It's like all the time.
Okay, just
All the time.
okay all the time.
It's like right now.
No, I guess I always been sensitive with energies and just picking up people's intentions or just their energy anywhere I go. I always pick up like energy. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Mhm.
So yeah, pretty much.
But when
I'm
you
really
were
like sensitive with that.
But when you were little, you would always talk about like seeing things, talking to like someone when
Right.
someone's not there. Like, so tell us about that.
So yeah, growing up, I always had like experiences or like imaginary friends. So I thought they were imaginary friends, but could it be spirits?
Mhm.
But as a child, you don't know.
Yeah, like you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You just think it's like somebody else.
Johnny says that one time you woke up one night and he said you were sleepwalking, and then you guys had this hallway, like this dark hallway, and then your grandma had like displays of masks.
Like Chinese masks.
Chinese
yeah,
masks
she had
on the wall.
two masks like with different. Actually, it was three
Mhm.
with different expressions, like happy, sad, and
Oh, like theater?
like theater masks.
Mhm.
And she picked those up in one of her trips to China. So I always felt like they had a lot of energy because
Mhm.
they were made of like clay or something like that. Maybe
Mhm.
porcelain. I'm not quite sure, but I remember waking up and they were moving or talking to me.
She went to China.
Yes,
Oh, cool.
she went to different places. She used to travel a lot.
Well, I remember our mom she's had so many experiences growing up. Like when she was little, she said she was having breakfast and then she was alone in the kitchen, and then like in front of her was like a white dwarf. And supposedly the white dwarf wanted to marry her. It was weird. It was really weird.
That's kind of weird.
This is the creepiest one that she's told me. So she used to live in our great grandma's house. One time she was sleeping in the living room with her sister, and it was dark. It was like late at night, and then next thing you know, she was hearing like footsteps. So she flipped her blanket, and when she looked in the living room, there was like a bride with white gown, long black hair, with her bouquet of flowers and a broom, just walking back and forth the living room,
Walking
like
down
kind of
the
like
aisle.
walking down the aisle.
And they're dead. And they're dead.
Like,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure there were enough family members.
I'm gonna need a drink after that.
Well, I remember before you guys even told me. Like I remember one time I went to your house and
like in a
no, your
apartment.
guys' your
Oh, like
mom's
our
house.
apartment, yeah.
I remember that I felt like there was like a black shadow, almost like some dark energy like following
Which apartment?
the first
The first
apartment. Yeah. And I remember after a while your mom
Why didn't
started-
you tell me?
I think I did. I think I told you guys, and your grandma said like, "Oh, she always gets scared.
Uh-huh.
Like your mom is really sensitive and all that."
That apartment was always kind of like dark. Cause I remember one time when I was 8 years old, I was on the couch. I was like jumping on the couch, right? And then we had a lamp behind me, and like obviously my shadow was like projecting off the
Yeah.
lamp.
Uh-huh.
So I remember jumping on the couch, and I landed on my back,
Uh-huh.
just being a kid. And I looked at the wall because there was a wall next to the couch, and
Mhm.
I saw my shadow still jumping.
Are you sure it wasn't from a
No
concussion?
way. Are you sure it wasn't a dream?
I remember like vividly, but I don't know. Like I was a kid, so I don't know if I was like seeing
Like
stuff
imagining it,
or but
the Peter Pan moment?
that's the only like paranormal moment I remember.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure I told you before.
No, you've never.
Remember-
They say there's a demon that hides in your shadows.
But it's funny how, because he would always have a dream about that apartment, right? And you would always end up in the garage. It's always the garage.
I always have nightmares about that apartment.
Do the-
Our garage used to be
That was
really
so
like
creepy.
dark
It's
and
like dark and like cold in there.
cold.
obviously.
garage.
It's a garage.
It's a
but
garage.
but it's always dark, even if you turn on the light.
It was a really big garage. Like,
It's a big,
probably like
with high ceiling.
it was probably like 40 feet high, maybe even higher. But yeah.
And every time I would do laundry, I would always like look back.
Yeah, because it was
Someone
super
watching
dark.
me, like
yeah.
I feel like someone's always watching.
And there's
me.
only one light in the corner of the thing. Or were there two?
Oh yeah,
lights?
it's like just one by
Yeah.
the stairs. Going down the stairs, there's like a light in the laundry machine, and then the dryer.
Yeah, it was a really creepy apartment. Do you remember? Have you been in the garage before?
No.
Our garage. It was
You've
really
never
creepy.
been to our garage? Oh my god, it's so creepy.
It's so creepy.
What else? You have a lot of childhood scary stories.
Yeah.
So tell them.
There's way too many stories.
That's okay. Just
Yeah, just like
Try
say
to-
any.
Well, I always remember. Well, I don't remember sleepwalking, but I remember my grandma telling me the next day, like, "Oh, you were sleepwalking. Do you remember?" And I was like, "No." Yeah.
I don't think any sleepwalkers would remember they sleepwalked.
Well, no. In our culture, they believe that you shouldn't wake up the
Oh, yeah,
sleepwalking
sleepwalking.
person because they could get a heart attack
Really?
or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Do you still sleep? Do you still sleepwalk or no?
No.
No, he doesn't anymore.
No, I think it's more for like kids have like I don't know. It's probably just as a child, your brain works differently than an adult, and I guess when I was exhausted, that's when I would sleepwalk, and the dreams were always really vivid. Yeah,
But what about your house back in the old house?
yeah, I was scared too. Like I always sleepwalk.
What about in this house? Anything that you guys
No,
experienced?
this house
Oh,
has
thank
been
God,
really
no.
good.
This house has been like
This house.
he
was-
saged the house.
Actually?
Yeah, I did, but
Yeah.
we always had good energy from this house, and the previous owners, they were the first owners. And
Oh, so nobody died. Had time to die
no,
here.
nobody died. And it was built from scratch, so I feel like they had pretty good energy. They were older folks too. So they sold it to us after being the first owners. There was always good energy.
When was the house built?
It's probably in the
2005.
2005. Oh.
So it's not that old. It's
It's
quite-
pretty.
That's,
It's
pretty
fairly-
new compared to all the other houses.
Right.
Thank God. I don't want to move into like an old house.
Yeah.
That would be like creepy.
Yeah.
You notice how like when
So
when
that's
when people see ghosts, it's always like they're wearing white, like ragged clothes.
Not always white. I remember Mom when she was in the province, in the Philippines. Because in the province, there's not much like lampposts, so you know the streets are dark at night. Then one time she was, I don't know where she was going, but she was going down the hill from our great grandma's house. She was going somewhere, and she sees like a lady, but like dressed in a red dress, and she didn't have a head, and she was bleeding.
Oh,
And she
right.
was just, every time she would move, the lady would be like, the headless lady would be like blocking
Right.
her way.
Why can't we see ghosts in like modern time? Like a ghost with like a hoodie, sweats.
I do.
Adidas.
Remember when we used to live? So we used to live in East Lake. So before we moved here, and one time we went to buy like Chinese food or something, and we passed
Was
through
I
this.
with you?
Yeah, you were driving, and I said, "Oh, look, somebody died here."
Uh-huh.
And a couple of weeks later, we drove by. We passed by again, and there was already like an altar.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
When I told you I saw
Like
a girl,
flowers?
flowers
Yeah.
and a cross.
Mm-hmm.
And that's before it wasn't. Apparently somebody died, and I said, "Oh look, like I thought it was somebody like a real person, but then it just vanished." So I realized, oh, it was like a ghost thing, a girl. She don't remember. So things like that happen. A lot.
Yeah.
And then we find out like, oh shit, it was a ghost. See, sometimes I can't even tell the difference because I thought it's I
Like
think
a real person.
like a real person or like somebody else. It happens to me when I used to run at night. I used to just thought it was a person walking, and next thing you know, it's not even there. I'll be like,
Yeah.
Oh
oh.
my God.
So
What about you? Any like ghost stories? you saw,
Well,
like-
growing up, I always wanted to see ghosts. So I can live to tell the story, but not anymore. I'm like
She
so
did it.
scared.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I want to see one, but I never
I
got
don't
to
want to see one.
But now I'm like, no, I don't want to see any. I'm scared.
well, growing up, I saw and had dreams all the time, nightmares, and anywhere we go, we always see like dead people.
But also Mexico, I have a lot of.
Mexico has like a lot
Has a lot
of
of-
scary
Yeah,
ghosts.
like growing up in our grandma's house was like the scariest thing too.
Yeah.
And the house too, because it's old, right?
Yeah, like heavy paranormal activity. Over there, they would send you home to die. So you would die in the hospitals.
Mhm.
So we always used to see like our great grandparents, great aunts all the time. And when it rains, it pours so bad and strong, like a tropical storm.
I've never experienced anything to like the extent of seeing like a ghost. Oh my god.
all the time.
Paranormal? Wait, so what else? Any other childhood traumas?
I have a lot of that could be a separate video actually.
Mental
Or
health.
it doesn't even have to be yours. It could be someone else.
I used to get a lot of like sleep paralysis
Oh my gosh,
when I was like really
me
depressed.
too.
Yeah, sleep paralysis.
Yeah, same here. Like the science explains that it's pretty much you're still in a subconscious like stage, waking up, so you're dreaming kind of being awake.
But why is it always like negative though?
Well, because the first partly from you wake up and you can't move, so you don't know if you're dreaming or you're awake, or you think you're awake, but your body's still sleeping. It hasn't catch on with your brain, so pretty much you start freaking out, so you start dreaming or visualizing scary things.
The thing with my sleep paralysis, I've never seen something. I've always heard it,
Yeah, I always hear
or
like,
I
no,
feel,
like,
or
yeah.
I feel stuff.
Alright.
Like one time, I felt someone like cutting my skin with a knife. I felt it.
But every time I get sleep paralysis, I would always hear like the voices are getting louder and louder, like they're right next to your ear.
Time during my sleep paralysis, I had a moment where I heard someone like scream in my ear, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah, really,
That-
like, as if they're speaking next to
Your
your
brother.
ear.
I feel like I can only hear something, but I've never like audibly seen something.
I always see things.
You always see things?
Mhm.
Like what?
This one time I was with
When
my ex.
during sleep paralysis?
Yes, thanks to and I was having a nightmare, like something bad happened to him. So pretty much we were laying in bed and he's like facing the wall and I was facing the door of the bedroom. I remember waking up and I was looking at like the bathroom was inside the room, like the bathroom door, and then this is the bedroom door. So I was looking at that direction in the corner and like a skeleton figure thing, kind of like when the exorcist walks backwards, like a demon or something came from down the floor and it started like moving backwards, like his head was back, and it got on top of me, but I couldn't move my body. And I remember I was so scared and it was kind of like sucking the life out of me. Praying and like pretty much just like protecting myself and calling like the light, and it started burning. Like light pretty much peeked through the ceiling. It was like an opening. I'm like, thanks God, and it started burning him. So he wanted.
I was like, I've seen this movie before.
I've heard this movie before.
He kind of moved to the side. He was like in the life of my ex at the moment, and I was just like, kick him, like get off him,
Like, at this
because he
point,
was
I think-
completely asleep, and I was like saying, I felt like I was moving my arm, saying like, wake up, but he wasn't waking up until like he just vanished to the floor again.
You always have dreams like that? Or not?
Yeah,
always?
really bad, yeah.
But like, thank God I don't get sleep paralysis anymore. That always freaks me out.
It didn't freak me out. It's just
I get really scared,
when I-
and I'm like trying to wake myself up by like pinching myself or
Every time-
moving my toe, my what do you call it?
Your big toe.
My big toe.
like every time I realized I was gonna have sleep paralysis, there's like a countdown, and like right when the countdown drops, like you can feel yourself drop.
Well,
Really?
Yeah,
I
for-
feel like I fall all the time.
Yeah, I fall. For me, like right when I'm.
And that's how you know you're gonna have sleep paralysis?
Yeah, like right, like when you wake up, like when you realize you're gonna have sleep paralysis, there's like a 3 to 5 second window of you like, okay, get ready, it's gonna start
Really?
now.
Maybe you
No,
were
for
astral
me-
projecting.
Well, for me, it's I know I'm awake, but I
Mhm.
can't wake up. That's how I know I'm in sleep
Right, because
paralysis.
you're waking up, your brain is awake, but your body is still in a sleeping mode.
That's weird, because for me, like right when that 3 second window like closes, I can already feel like I have to grasp. Like that's why like I wake up and like I like launch myself.
Almost
forward.
like you're falling into your body.
Yeah.
And you catch a breath.
Really?
Oh, am I astral projecting?
Oh my
What?
gosh, maybe I'm not there yet.
Maybe we could do
Is
a.
it raining?
No, it's the
Yeah.
It's the paranormal.
it's the paranormal heater,
Maybe I am astral projecting.
and maybe
How
that's
come I
why.
never felt that?
Maybe you're not-
Maybe you
you're not-
do. Everybody does. It's just some people are able to remember.
It does kind of feel like I'm coming back into my body.
And you catch your breath.
But like I can't breathe.
So when you wake
So
up,
we
you're
do
like,
travel when we sleep.
of course.
Like I didn't
When
even
we
know.
fall asleep,
I
where do we
didn't.
go? Okay guys, so that is it for this video. If you guys want to watch more of these kind of videos, please let us know in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
If there is a next time.
Bye!
Bye.